Okay, so we're here tonight. We're talking about creating a wow moment with brows. And I have to share with you that one of the things that I absolutely enjoy in my business is doing events. I like going to conferences. I like doing um, gatherings where I can come in contact with women I've never met before and invite them to experience my products. And one of the things that becomes important when you're trying to attract the attention of someone in a large gathering, large space, and you've got other people around you selling clothes or doing photography or selling vitamins or whatever, you got to do something that's unique. And so one of the things that I will do is invite a person, so, just give me 30 seconds and I'll transform something about you. I don't tell them what. So that creates curiosity. And 30 seconds, not a long time. And literally, when they sit down, there's one or two things that I will do, depending on what they're coming with. Let's say that they're coming to the table and they already have their brows done, they're pretty good. That's when I'll say, I'm going to try this waterproof lip gloss on you, for example, okay, or this matte lip product, and just enhance what they have and create a wow moment. It's once they say wow, you got them. Okay. So, but one of the things that is a slam dunk in terms of getting a person to want to go all the way with you in terms of, other products, talking about skincare and everything else, if you transform something about her, and the brow is probably one of the easiest things to do. So we're excited that you're here tonight. And I know that there were a number of people that said, hey, I can't come on live. I need to see the replay. So for those of you that are coming and watching the replay, welcome to you. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump into it. I'm going to show you some images first. And so I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so we are past the welcome. So everybody knows that we're glad for you to be here. The next thing is really that wow moment. And, are there other ways to create wow moment? Yeah, you can create a wow moment with the exfoliator on the back of the hand, with the microderm cleanser on the back of the hand, with the body products like the Adrian Appel body treatment cream or the Shea Nut body butter on hands or an arm or something that is extremely dry. You can create wow moments in several different ways, but the brows, it is a powerful thing. Okay. So one of the things that I wanted to share with you is kind of how we have transitioned and how women are transitioning with brows even today. As you look at this image, how many of these images have you seen as you have been out and about? Probably a lot of them, right? I've seen this. I call it the hoop brow. Okay, looks like a basketball hoop that's unfinished. I've seen this where it's, almost looks like a tadpole. I've seen all of these, and you probably have too. And probably after this session tonight, you're going to start looking at brows and say, "Ooh, that's one of the pictures Sharon showed on the screen the other night." And but people interpret brows in so many different ways. And today in the fashion world, natural and thicker and less structured is, kind of a thing that people are doing. But one of the things that has taken off pretty aggressively is this thing called microblading, which is basically, a person that doesn't have any hair at all, instead of them putting on brow products like we're going to do tonight with either a pencil or powder, they actually are, tattooing with, this little needle and this fine, just kind of putting the dye into the skin. It's equivalent to a tattoo, but it's much more user friendly than a tattoo, because a person that gets tattooed in a tattoo parlor, it's not, you're not guaranteed what you're going to come out with. You may not have the right coloring. It may be, have a green under, base or a blue base. And after a while, that's exactly what will show through on the skin. But these are just, I thought this was interesting as I was looking around. I'm saying, wow, this says a century of brows. And, as in the fashion world, we've kind of been in all of these places. So one of the things I thought would be interesting would be to allow you to look at a couple of models and see what you would say about the brows. Is it good? Does it need help? And what do you see as the possibility? So if you look at the model here, what would you say about her brow?
A good strong brow.
It's strong.
Yep.
Yeah, it's strong. But she's pulling it off pretty well. It could probably be a little bit thinner in here, but it's okay. I mean, it could pass. It's not so in your face that it wouldn't work. Okay. If you look at the model over into to the right, what would you say?
Well, that's hard to tell from the lighting, to be honest. That's really harsh lighting on her. So it's kind of hard to tell. She's got a nice arch in there. But it's two different sets of lighting, so I don't know, but it's a good arch.
So out of the mouth of a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I see here is that there's not any much separation between her brow and the rest of her eye, because her eyes are, she's got a hooded brow. And so when her eyes are open, her lashes almost touch the brow. Mm-hmm. So there's not enough of a separation. There needs to be more definition. She really doesn't even have to go through a lot of removal of hair, but it's just creating that separation between her skin and, here it would probably need to be, you would just use a little bit of the concealer or something under here, which would lift it up and would open her eye up and, make her eyes be more prominent as opposed to sitting back in on her face. But not bad. Okay.
Where would you put the lighter part? Right under, yeah, over there. Okay.
Yeah. And then
yep.
I would probably, and then bring it up and then, I'm sorry, let me go back. So yeah, and then you see over here, it's worse than this one. This one is, but like you said, the angle of which she was shot, you really can't see it, but it would make such a big difference if she was lifted up just a little bit here and there, you would be able to see the difference. This, I'm just going all over the place, that you would be able to see the separation. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's my issue.
I'm sorry?
So my brows are like that too. They don't have the high arch, but they're very close to my eyes.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of space, and I don't. I've already removed a lot under there.
Okay.
But anyway.
Yeah. So you'll see some of the kind of a way that you can camouflage and create open up the eye a little bit more. Okay. So if you look at these two ladies, this one, the brow is a little heavy. She probably has brow products on and just made it a little bit darker maybe than she had to have it be. The shape of it is nice, but it probably just needs to be thinned out just a little bit. This brow looks pretty good. I mean, I like hers. One of the things that you should always remember, even if a person has jet black hair, their brows should never be jet black. You know, the darkest the brow should be a, you know, kind of a dark brown, because the black just tends to make the brows look hard, and it makes the face look hard when products are put on it. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get to the wowing of the brow. So I'm going to stop my share, and then we're going to go back here. And what I'm going to do, so I decided not to scare you all tonight by, I wanted to come on with the brows, but I'm going to take one off and leave one on so you can see the power of having the brow done. Okay, so this is the one step that I'm doing. So what did that do? Look at the difference.
Off.
Huh?
It completely took your brow off.
It
There's
took,
something
I
left.
have very little hair,
Wow.
and that hair is very light. Let me move the light over here so it's a little bit
Wow.
better.
It really changes your face. I
It
mean, it
changes,
really,
it changed the face.
yeah.
It's like the face doesn't have as much expression, right? So I wanted you to see that so that you could see the power of the brow, you know? So, and the brow for me is non-negotiable. I do not go out of the house. I won't have on a stitch. I may not have on a stitch of makeup. I may have a cap on my head, nothing on the lips, no makeup, but the brows will always be put on. That's just non-negotiable, because for me, the brows, and let me just make sure that everything is taken off. Okay.
Wow.
It's amazing, right?
How do you put it on?
No, that's what we get ready to do. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. So, but let me take the other one off, and you'll see that the really the magic of it, because so many women that I see, they'll have their makeup will be on, but the brow is not done, and there's something about the absence of a brow that just makes the face be incomplete.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
I can't, you know what, when you took them off, I can't see your eyes as good.
Right, right. So case in point, the power of the Florence said you lost definition, right? There, because there is no, now it's like everything just kind of blends in together. There's nothing that is, there's no expression. It's just there. My face is just there. Okay. So now we'll start the wow factor. Okay. So you really only need a couple of products. Okay. Everyone should have a brow pencil. That would be a necessity. You should have a brow powder. And you should have a highlighter. I said in the email that I sent out, 3 steps: line, fill in, highlight. And so what we're going to go through is and the reason why I say brow powder and brow pencil, I'm going to show you how you can use one by itself. I'll show you how you can use one or the other. You know, either one of them can be used by themselves, but you can use them in tandem with one another. But what is important to start out with is that you first have to determine the line that you're going to follow. You have to create the brow. Okay. So the first thing, and this is something that, you know, so if you guys have your products with you, we're going to go through that. Okay. So, and you can do it. It's probably easier to do it with a pen or a pencil or even a brush. The brow pencil is not the one to do. And the reason why I say that is because you need to first decide where the brow needs to begin and where the brow needs to end. Okay. So the first thing you do is put that brush or pencil so that it's on the side of your nose. Okay. And if you need to give yourself a marker, take something and put a dot there. Okay. And then, so that's the beginning. So you see that this is where my brow is going to begin. All right, go ahead and do that. All right. And then in terms of ending the brow, you put on the tip of your nose, and the brow should end where that is. So I'm going to take the pencil and put a mark. Okay, you see? So here it's just on the side of your nose, and that where that is, that should be where your brow begins, your brow line begins. And then once you do this, the end should be right there. Okay, you got it? Okay, so we're going to use the brow pencil first. So here's my line. Now, what's critical is the first thing that we're doing is we're going to create the structure of the brow. And the brow structure is created at the bottom of the brow, not on the top initially. Okay, so where this is, what I'm getting ready to do now is create a line. I'm drawing a line. And I'm gonna stop right there. You know why I'm stopping there? Because that's where your arch should be, right above your pupil. So at the beginning of the line, get there and stop. That gives you a point where you are creating your arch. Okay. Now you're gonna start at where you left off, and now you're going to bring that line to the end where this stop. Okay, you guys with me?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm waiting for everybody to catch up.
Sorry, I didn't bring my products. I'm just watching.
That's okay. How you doing, Beth? I like your hair. It's cute.
Thank you.
Okay, you all ready to go to the next step? Now, here's where you have to make a decision. Your natural brow line is at the top, okay? So you don't want to go outside of that. You want to stay within that, okay? So you can see that my brow line is right up here. So when we talk about filling in, and we're doing one brow at a time. So right now, what we're going to do is use the pencil for this brow. And then over here, we'll do maybe the brow powder by itself so you can see the difference. So now I'm ready to start filling in, okay, on the top. And basically what you're going to do is take short, sweeping, and you're going on top of, like, on your hair and above the line that you drew underneath. You see what I'm doing? Okay.
Is that the same pencil you were using before?
Same exact pencil. This is the dark brown brow pencil.
Okay.
Okay. So we're filling in, and we're basically following the shape that you created underneath. And we're coming over to the end where the brow is going to stop. Okay. And fill in means that if you see an area that is a little bit sketchy and not as filled in, you just go back and do that. But you just don't go beyond where the beginning and the end of the brow was. All right, you guys got that?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so that's the fill in. Now comes the highlight. This is where the magic really comes in. Because even if you made a mistake and you made it too thick or whatever, this is where you're going to now correct and really define that brow. So tonight, I'm using the vanilla base strokes. The key is to use a lighter color than your skin so that you can just create the definition and create a little bit of a highlight, because you know lighter accentuates, darker diminishes. So watch, and then I also, this is an angle brush as well. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the vanilla, and basically what I'm getting ready to do now is create. So I'm going to just hold this, and right up under where I drew that line, I'm now going to you see what I've done?
Yep.
Okay. So I now have created and cleaned up, but you can't leave it like that. So now I'm going to take, you can do a sponge or another brush. And basically what we're going to do now is soften that line. It's still going to be a little bit lighter, but it's not going to be as light as it was when you put it on there, and just blend it in.
So I take it that you can use concealer to do that too.
You can, yes, you can use concealer, you can use foundation. Cream is better. A cream product, okay?
And obviously you do your brows before your eyeshadow.
I do. Okay, but you see what that is? And then if you, once you do that, you know, you just don't, you want to make sure that you don't want to take any of the brow pencil off, but you want to make sure that you're blending in the lighter color. And then if you took any of the brow pencil off or whatever, you can always go back and just fill in again. You see the difference?
That's very pretty.
Okay. Now, suppose I wanted my brows to be thicker. All I would do, you make the thickness on top. So let's just, so now all I'm doing is taking the brow pencil and like gradually pulling that brow up. Because you never, once you got that underneath the brow done, you're good to go. Okay. 3 steps. Line, fill in, highlight, correct, and create the definition. That's basically what the concealer, cream foundation, you know, whatever you're using underneath. And, you know, the thing is, you know, I could have used any number of colors. I just pulled in the vanilla because it's one of the new shades, but I could have used praline, toasted almond. I could have used ginger, sand, any of the cream to powders, anything that's a cream is always better, only because it gives you the ability to let that product stay in its place once you put it on the skin. Okay. All right. So let's do the next brow. Okay. So this time what I'll do, I'm going to show you how to create the line using the brow powder. Okay. Instead of the pencil. Let's just, because you can do it the same way, but the same thing applies. You got to first figure out where your line is. Okay. So My brow needs to start right here. And then it needs to end right about there. Okay. All right. Now, the good thing about the brow powder in Color Me Beautiful is that you've got this little angle brush. Okay. So the line that we created over here with the pencil, the brush is going to create your line. So, and this is the brunette powder, by the way. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is you take the long end should be facing towards your nose. You see the line coming? Still the line underneath, following the structure. How you doing, Jaquel? Sylvia, Marie, you guys doing it?
I'm just watching.
Oh, you're just watching.
Yeah.
I said I was trying to use this this liner brush with the Flory brow powder.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was trying to just
Okay.
get it.
So, all right. So, Jaquel, you've got your first brow on.
Uh-huh.
Where you? It's time for you. Okay. So, the in like in here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? Let's use the highlighter to correct it. Do you have
Okay.
like a brush that you're gonna use, and you're using what, the toasted almond?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I'll just see.
I tell you what I had on initially, I used I was using the Color Me Beautiful concealer in the light. Either one of them works. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay. You said clean up something here?
Okay, so what you've got to do now is underneath
Mask.
that brow, underneath the line, without
Mhm.
hitting the brow pencil where you put
Chew
the
and
pencil,
cigarettes.
you're going to take your brush and just go right up underneath it so that you now can create more definition.
Oh, I did that, but maybe it's not, maybe toasted almond's not light enough. Maybe I should get, I did that, but let me see. The toasted almond.
Well, first of all, hold on. You wanna, because you remember when I put the product
No.
on,
Mhm.
you could see the
Yeah,
color.
yeah, you really can't see this one real
Okay,
good.
so
Toasted
then as a beginner, you need something that is a little bit more of a contrast. So do you
Yeah.
have praline?
I do,
Okay.
yeah, I do.
Okay.
So I will run back and,
Or do you have
Dr.
like
Mindy.
ginger or tawny cream to powder? Either way.
yeah, I have ginger and tawny. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll grab.
Okay. All right. So you saw what I did over here. I made the mark with the pencil. Matter of fact, I probably came down a little bit lower. All right, so now for the fill-in using the brow powder, the same concept applies. Little short strokes, following, not going back, because your line is really your stopping point underneath.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing now is just the same thing I was doing with the pencil. I'm doing with the brow powder using the angle brush. And it doesn't look nearly as clean until you go back and put that highlighter on. And there used to be a time when the makeup artists, they would take that highlighter and put it on the top, but we don't do that as much now, only
Yeah.
because you'll look lighter. You know how when you go and get your brows waxed
Oh.
or threaded, the skin looks lighter in those areas where the hair's been removed. That looks good, Anne. I can't hear you. You're muted.
So this one is with a dark brown liner pencil. I think
Yeah.
it's too dark. I think it's
Yeah, I
too
would
dark.
go a little bit lighter.
Engine.
Yeah,
But
but
the,
what you can do, you can lighten that. Just take the brush that's on the end and
Engine's
just
probably
fan it
still
out.
sitting there.
yeah, this one is with the Haze brow powder.
Yeah, I like that. I like that better.
That's what I
Yeah.
usually
Yeah,
use.
but you can, but whenever, but you can always just take
£500.
take the brush on the end and just on the brow brush and just fan it out, or even with the Q-tip. Yeah, you can do that. That
Yeah.
looks good though.
And I absolutely need the brow gel because my
Okay.
brows are just very, very coarse and thick and
Okay.
long.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, one of the things when your brows are long, you can take what's a good thing that I will do for my clients too, is I'll brush the hairs down and
New
just trim
tractor.
them and trim them. And you'll find it'll be a lot more manageable, because if the hairs are too long, you always run the risk that even though you may have a great shape, that a hair will end up, kind of causing it to look not as finished.
Yeah,
Okay.
for me, it's better to brush them up, but I definitely do trim some of them. But
Yeah.
I mean, my brows are like right on top of my eyes.
Yeah, but this has opened them up.
But anyway,
Yeah, it's opened it up by use, and then see, well, all you got to do is just take the highlighter and just make sure that you get right there at the beginning of the brow, because that's where you would want to open up and create separation.
That's why you run
between
35W.
the eye. Yeah, right in there. Absolutely. That's it. That looks good. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you can see that this brow, even over here, still doesn't look all that finished yet. Why? Because the highlighter's missing. So here we go. Can you guys see? I'm trying to look in the mirror.
What are they?
Marie, we can hear you. Marie, we can hear you on your call.
Probably.
No, you can't hear me. Wait.
Oh, who was that?
That's
Oh, I thought that was.
Beth with an E. There's somebody.
Oh, okay.
Beth with an
Oh,
E.
Beth with an E, mute yourself.
Yeah.
Beth,
thought so.
let me see, maybe she can. Let me see if I can mute her. Okay, all right, but you see what that highlighter is doing to what that brow that looked not as finished? And I'm just putting a little bit more of the brow powder. And like I said, this is the brunette.
So the brow powder gives like almost a furry kind of a look versus the pencil. Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I that's why I wanted to do both, so you can see the difference. Once we finish, but here you're talking about a pencil, kind of laying down on the skin. So this actually looks a little bit smoother.
Right. That's right.
Than the powder. The powder looks a little bit more coarse.
Yes.
But we can manipulate that too by just taking that brush and continuing to do it. Okay.
Which
so
one do you normally use?
I normally use the pencil underneath, and then I do the brow powder on top.
Oh, you do combo.
Yeah, I do both. Yeah, that's what my regular routine is. But I wanted to do one versus the other for the benefit. So, because some of you may be more comfortable doing the pencil more than the brow, but the pencil is critical for me in terms of creating the line. The brow powder creating the line is, requires a little bit more skill than the pencil, because the pencil, you can just draw the line, kind of very effortlessly, and then kind of go from there. Okay, so now I'm just going to take, and this is like I think I got this from the dollar store, this brush.
It's a foundation brush.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So, Sharon, you did say before that the eyebrow color should not be so dark.
No, the eyebrow color should really complement your hair color, but never black.
Even if you
So-
have black, even if you have black hair.
Even if you have black hair, yeah,
Why is that?
You would use dark brown.
Huh.
Because if you look at Anne is a good example. Anne has dark hair.
Right.
She's got on two different brow colors. But one, the dark brown, comes off darker on her. And then the other one, I think she had the haze on, that looked a lot more softer and natural. Because what you don't want the brows, you don't want to walk into a room and they see your brows before they see you.
Okay. Anne, if you talk, we can see you, because let's see.
Yeah. So the haze is on this side, and the dark
The dark
brown.
brown, yeah.
on
The
this
haze
side.
is definitely
And,
better.
and it's too harsh for me.
It
looks
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You can
very harsh.
tell the difference, because that almost looks like it's black, as
Mhm.
opposed to,
It shouldn't be, it should not be darker than your hair.
no, it can be lighter than the hair, but not darker.
Well, wait a minute, but there's a lot of blonde girls like us, bottle blondes, that have like darker eyebrows. Haha.
Yeah, but yeah, you got dark. So in that case, you just match whatever you have. But it shouldn't be, don't make it so dark that it's too much of a contrast. So you can see that between the two, that the brow powder is giving a much softer, not as structured. So for the brow powder combo, I would almost tend to maybe just do a little bit of, just a little bit, not much, just to,
Sharon, I gotta pop off. Great demo.
okay, great.
Bye, Beth. One day I'll call you soon.
So I was hoping, since you were doing this tonight, that you might be launching the new brow powders.
Well,
So what are
they're coming, they should be here next week. So,
Are the colors the same? The shades?
not exactly, I think because they're gonna be duos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're gonna be duos. So, it'll be something, but you see what happened.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
To see the brow powder didn't give me the what I was looking for on the top. So all I did was took that same
Wow.
concealer that I put under here and just put a little bit on the top, and blended it out. And you see, it made it look, because for me, it looked like my brow wasn't as finished over here as it was over here.
Amazing difference. Wow.
I didn't need it over here because the pencil, gave that smooth look.
Now I like the powder one better.
You like the powder one. See, so
I didn't before, but now I do.
yeah. But what was missing was that this wasn't clean. It wasn't given a clean look. And the thing is that when you are, so you have to look at the brow and determine what's missed, what you may need. You're either gonna have to correct it underneath or you're gonna correct it above, one or the other. Okay, this one just didn't need the correction on the top, but it was okay. And the thing is, we always say that brows, they are related. You want them to look as close to each other as possible, but they don't have to be twins. You just you want to make them as you want to make sure that they are here about the same. And matter of fact, what I'm going to do now is to make them look a little bit more like each other, and you can't see, just take a little bit, just soften that inside a little bit with the brow powder. So the utensils, the angled brow brush, the brow pencil, and the angle brush to do your highlighting really are the tools that you need, and of course your concealer.
What is the concealer that you used?
What I used is, this is the vanilla in the base strokes, but I use the light and the neutral concealer in Color Me Beautiful. That's what I had initially on. I used the cream to powder, so it just depends what I put my hands on first thing in the morning.
So base strokes is a concealer or a foundation? Base
Strokes is whatever you want it to be. It can be a concealer, it can be a foundation, it can be a highlighter.
Oh, wow.
It can do all of that. Like if I wanted to, I don't have any sponges in here, but let's just say that I wanted to highlight under here.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so you can do anything. I could use it on my lid as an eyeshadow. You can do anything, so don't feel in any way inhibited with your products. Make your products do what you want them to do for you. Okay. And if I wanted to then go and put an eyeshadow on top of this, having put this on there, this functions like a eyeshadow base, because it's a cream. It'll hold anything that you put on top of it. And
Miss Sharon,
yes.
what does it look like with the tawny? I put the tawny on.
Much better, much better.
Okay.
Only thing I would like to see, though, Jaquel, is more of an arch. And I think
More of an arch.
right. And then also you've got to, like, your end. Where's my doggone brush? Okay, let me see. Okay, so for you've got to take your brush, and I don't know if you've got an angle brush, but what you got to do, you've got to thin your ends out because your ends are too thick.
Ah, okay.
So, and the way that you do that, you can even, you can hold your brow up like that where the arch is, and then just take the brush.
Thin it out with the tawny. Okay.
With the tawny, yeah. And then, just take, and then, have like a flat foundation brush that you can go back and blend it. You see, because you don't want it to be thick.
To be too thick.
On the end.
Well,
okay?
I'm learning, so.
Yeah, but I mean, you'll get there. You'll get there. But the thing is, I want you to do it while we on screen.
Okay.
Get that brush.
Okay.
Any questions? Anybody else? Sylvia, Florence, Tara. Any questions? And I think it opened your eyes up.
Yeah, well.
What did you put underneath? What did you use? The concealer?
I use this in the light.
Yeah. Now, the only thing I would say though, Anne, is you want to blend it out. Just soften the highlighter. You want it to just kind of be almost just, it's there, but it's not there. So what you want to do, just, take your foundation brush and just blend it in. It's still going to create the definition. You don't want it to sit. Yeah. So yeah, and see, you're using a Q-tip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be much better if you get a brush, because you'll be able to blend it out. you'll be able to, yes, 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 yes. That'll make a big difference. Just
I've,
Sharon,
don't,
I've
yes,
also used like the rose quartz or something like that underneath.
yes. So you could do that as well. And just make sure when you're using the brush, keep in mind that you've got product on those brows. So you want to still stay underneath that line. Do everything underneath, pull the highlighter down and then go across so that you don't have to go back and redo anything on the brow. So that foundation brush, just the tip of it is what you want to do, and blend it out. And if you have the thing is that you can correct anything. So when you're looking at it, you're going to see if there's anything that you need to manipulate at all. Okay.
You know what? I didn't even know you could do this, but see how
Look. Yes, you see the difference?
yeah, even though it's not, identical
But
yet.
it's so much better though, Jaquel.
Arch in the,
Yes, that's right.
I
That's
see
right.
the difference now.
You see the difference, yes. And you know what's amazing is that once you have practiced and you're doing this, and and I'm telling you, if you do it every day, you're going to become so skilled at it. And this is the one thing that people love to have tutorials on. So your clients, because most women, that's the one thing that they struggle with. They may be able to get their foundation right. They may be able to do mascara and eyeliner, but the brows they struggle with. And if you show them, it's just one line, fill in, and create structure, or,
Highlight, like you said, highlight.
highlight. Yes. Highlight.
Sharon, this is
Yes,
Sylvia.
Sylvia.
I've been looking and also trying it, but my eyebrows need to be waxed. They're barking all over the place here.
Yeah, but you know what? They don't ever have to bark too loud, because when you use the highlighter, that will camouflage
Okay.
the hair. But here's another little handy tool. Once you get your shape, and you don't have to really be skilled, you're not going to cut yourself and be bleeding with this, luckily. But if you have hairs that are underneath the shape, this is a great tool to have. You can buy them, like $1 in the beauty supply store. You basically can just go underneath and just clean it up.
Okay.
This is a great tool to
Yeah.
have as well.
Yeah.
That works better if there's less contrast between your skin tone and the hairs of your brows. Mine, I'd have dark stubble and it would look horrible.
Yeah. So yeah, you definitely have to. So I mean, you can camouflage to some degree, but if it's too much, but that looks good though, Anne. I like it. But I think that you definitely want to go with the haze, and you could even go maybe even a shade lighter. What would be the next one? What the blonde? What's the one above that?
Yeah, it's just blonde is the lighter one. I wouldn't go there. Haze
It
is
wouldn't
about-
be that light. Okay.
Yeah. with
Yeah,
the
but I
pencil,
think for you, the best thing for you to do is when you do that, just use your brush, and you'll be able to lighten it just by default. And don't be afraid to put some pressure on the brush. Just follow that, and that will soften the color down to, and you stop when you get to the point where it's light enough for you.
What did
Okay.
you use? What did you use at the top of your brow? You were cleaning that up.
The same that I use underneath, the vanilla.
Okay.
So you don't have to use different things. You just have to use something that's lighter than your natural skin tone, because you want to be able to see it. And what it does, it just opens up the brow, and you are able to see the structure coming to life. This is almost that even though we call it a highlighter, it also is correcting what you may have. You could have made a mistake and made the brow too thick. And this will help you to get it into shape. That's why it's important to draw that line and create your shape underneath. And then when you go back under it, you basically are highlighting and accentuating the arch, which is opening up the eye. That highlighter actually is like giving yourself an instant facelift, the eye lift.
There's a pencil, a highlighter pencil. Is it Gil Heyman or?
Yeah, the spotlight stick.
Yeah.
I have that too. That is that doesn't do as good as using a light like the concealer. Only because the consistency of it, you're not getting, I use that more for like it on my lid. If I wanted to have more of like a champagne frosty, lid, but the concealer or a lighter cream foundation is much better to use for the brows in terms of just creating that structure underneath. Tara, Florence, Marie, any questions?
No, that was
No,
really
not here.
Okay.
I put my questions that I had over on the chat.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes.
And so once the new brow powders come in, we'll come back and do a tutorial to show you, kind of the multiple ways to be able to use that. Let me just check the chat. So I have a question regarding the brow sealers. Most come with a brush like for mascara, but when I use them, it seems to make lines in the brow I have drawn. So I think you're talking about like, if you put the brow like something it's gonna function like hairspray for the brows, basically.
Right. Right.
And if you're doing it after you've put, after you've put your color on, you really want to do soft strokes, so that you don't end up taking off the color that you've put on. So almost
Right.
like, like strokes up and
Right.
then lay it down. And then
Okay.
it should stay in place, but you have to do it very lightly, because keep in mind, the only thing you're trying to do is really get the product on the hairs,
Right.
so that they lay down and
Right.
and stay in place.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I have such thick brows that the brow sealer doesn't work. So I think for Anne, for you, my best suggestion for you is really the trim,
And I do some of that.
because
Yeah.
that would be the trick for you, because once you trim those brows, that hair just is, the hair is going to lay exactly where you want them to be.
Actually, that's not necessarily. If they get too short, they're very
They're
stiff.
stubbly.
They're stiff, and they'll go. They actually, if they have a little bit of length, they'll stay put a little
Stay
better.
put. Yeah.
So I brush them up and I trim off the
Just the little ends. Yeah. So that's, So, and
yeah, my hairs will grow an inch and a half long.
really, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I find that's good for that?
What?
When you have problems with the stringing works better
The
for
threading.
the threading.
Mm-hmm.
And after a while, the hair stop coming back as thick.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then eventually mine don't even grow back now.
Okay.
I mean, I've done it so often. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then Florence was asking, what is the stippling
Yeah.
brush
What is
used
that
for?
for? I've seen that. I don't know what that's for.
That's for the face.
Okay.
That almost is, that's a brush that will help create a kind of like an airbrush look on the face.
Okay. So you go over it like after you've put your primer and your foundation, and you've got your powder.
Well, actually, you
just kind of go over
generally are using that you can use it with the foundation. You can also use it with your powder.
Oh, so you can use it with either one.
Either one,
or
yeah.
both. Okay.
or both. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I seen that brush with the name on it. And I was like, well, what is this for?
Yeah, the stippling. I mean, but
Okay.
they're not doing as much of of that now as they were a couple of years ago.
The stippling,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
stippling was used when they were doing that was to set your makeup, especially with the powder. You just kind of the little
Yeah,
dab,
yeah. So
stippling,
you
and
would
then
just you would be
place
doing,
it
but
as
you can
good.
do the same thing with a kabuki brush
Right.
Okay.
and all
Okay.
that.
Okay.
But some people will use it for a you know, for foundation, and then some were using it really as a finishing touch with the powder.
Oh,
And
okay.
that brush it has more of a kind of a flat base.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Sharon, another question.
Mhm.
When you were placing the pencil against your nose, it was at the tip of your nose
Well,
or
basically what you're doing is
okay,
it's
so
right on the side of your nose.
okay, side.
Right. So because basically that's where the line of that's where your brow should begin.
Mhm.
And then on the end, you should touch the tip of your nose, and the end of the brow should be at the end of that.
Okay.
You see?
Mhm.
That's how you know that you know, so if you see somebody with their brow all the way out there, you know they're wrong.
Not unless their nose goes all the way out
Oh,
there.
yeah. Or if they stop the brow right here,
Yeah.
you know, and you will be a lot more sensitive when you look at their brow. I look at everybody's brows. When I see them, I'm looking at their brows instead of listening to what they're saying. But you'll start to do that because you will see women that will stop their brow way too short. And what it does, it leaves the brow unfinished. Okay. So the purpose is to make sure that that brow is covering the circumference of the eye. And then also that, you know, and you've also seen people that they start the brow all the way over here, you know, and that looks odd. It just looks odd. So the thing is to, you know, if you look and line up, that's how it should be. Okay. So you can use a pencil, you can use anything that is going to give you just the line up. Okay. And
How
then
about I never knew I could create my own
look at
eyebrows?
you.
I never knew that.
Oh my gosh, you got brows, Jaquel.
Discovering something different.
I love it.
It
I
looks
love it. I
great.
love it. You now can do a tutorial for your clients.
So
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
So there was this woman I photographed. I think she was like, I don't know, 67 years old.
Mhm.
It was like a quick kind of a thing. One of my friends, it's actually his wife. Anyway, she had these tiny eyebrows and they stopped, you know, midway,
Mhm.
mid eye to the, you know, center all the way to the end. I was like,
Yeah.
OMG. So, you know, this was not at my studio, it was on location. And I was like, do you have any brow pencils? So I'm like trying to draw it in. It's the wrong color too. And I'm like, OMG.
Yeah.
So I find it's like she's got she should have some hair from, you know, the center of the nose to the mid of the arch, and then there's nothing
Yeah. Yeah.
from the middle to the end. So you still
But
do
you
what
don't
you
have to be
can.
afraid of that because you can that you saw mine were
Right.
basically in the same shape. And so the thing is the products that you use, either the pencil or the brow powder, and you have to decide which one is going to work best for the client. You know, the thing is that wherever the hair is missing,
Mhm.
wherever the structure is missing, you fill it in and create the brow. That's the beauty of it. That's the
So
beauty.
so I might have to start stocking this stuff, but then it's like, this isn't my job. I'm not a makeup artist, but you know, I'm like a perfectionist when it comes to the photos. And it's like, when I see this, I'm going, oh gosh, you know, because you know, if the eyebrow's missing, it's just not
It
going to look
just
good.
it's horrible. It's
So
horrible.
if I had to stock, how many
Mm.
colors can I get away with? 3 colors? You know, I'm talking like what? I don't want to have a whole pharmacy of, you know, eyebrow stuff, you
Well,
know.
I think that once you see the brow duos when we launch those, you know, you'll see it may be that you can work with two duos, and that would be the extent based on the skin, you know, the clients that you have. So, but yeah, so, you know, you will know once you see the range of colors that we're going to have.
Are these colors going to be for Flurry and Color Me Beautiful, the new?
No, they really are, the ones that are coming out are really Color Me Beautiful.
And when are they coming out?
They're scheduled to, we're waiting for the folding cartons. The next week is what I'm told.
Wow. Okay. Before the end of the month, maybe.
What I give it as an example is to give an example of what if you don't frame your eyebrows, is just think of a painting and having the frame stop right in the middle.
In the middle, yeah.
Of the picture, and that's what your eyebrows look like, or your eyes look like, without framing your eyes with eyebrows.
Absolutely. So the brows are so important, and like I said, you know, it's one of the things that I think every beauty influencer, that's the one. I don't think you have to be a makeup artist, but I think that you should know how to help create and structure a brow for a client, because that will be something that she'll never forget you for, you know. And you know, you don't have to contour and do all that kind of stuff. If you match her foundation, help her with her brows, and put her in the right lipstick color according to her season, and you're going to have a client for life. So it doesn't take much. It's just that we have to practice it, and the best person to practice it on is you, because you will become good on you, and once you learn the technique on you, you'll be able to apply it to everyone else. Jaquel is a good example. I mean, you saw her brows, right? And if Jaquel did a video, and the first thing I saw, I said, matter of fact, you inspired me to do this tonight. And because I said, okay, brows, that's it. You know, everybody needs to learn how to do this. So like I said, as soon as the new products come out, we'll come on and we'll do something so that you can see how these, you know, the new products will work. So, okay, well, I hope that that this was useful for you. And
thank you so much.
Look, I can't believe, look at your.
Let me see. Wow, can I see?
Huh?
You have to talk. Can I see?
Say something.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah.
Did you see her brows before? You have to, I mean, that makes such a difference though, Jaquel. So just keep practicing. Yes. And Anne, hers look great as well. So for those of you that are not on camera,
and you can do this.
Turn it off.
And you can do this for men too, right?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't do this I mean, men, I think today, the best that they will do, I think men are having their brows shaped. They're getting threading and all that. But I haven't had any men that needed to have products put on their brows, other than maybe a sealer, you know, because the brows need to be tamed. But I have not had an occasion where a man, you know, needed the kind of brow structure that we did with products. So, okay, ladies, well, it's been real. Let's go out and wow the world. Showing them how to do their brows. Okay, so you guys did great tonight. Thank you. And do your own videos and start sharing it with your clients. You will be amazed at how many clients you will get as a result of simply showing them how to create the brow, and what happens when they don't have brows. And think about it. I mean, as we get older, our hair starts thinning on our head, our hair start thinning on our brows. So these are products that will carry people into you know, their later years. And once you can do your brows, like I think I could probably do my brows sleep. because I mean, you know, I kind of, it's like rote now. I mean, you know, it's just like a 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
I
So,
have to-
okay, well, you guys look beautiful. I
I
hate,
have
you know, but guess what? When I get off the phone, I'm going to take all of this off. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Okay.
It's
Have a
great for
good
people
night.
that
You guys
have-
are great. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Good night.